Hi guys, welcome back. So let's start. The next up is the table. Tables are defined by using the table tag. Tables are divided into rows and columns. Rows is denoted by TR tag. The table rows are further divided into table columns or table data with the TT tag. Table data tag act as a data container within the table. They contain all sorts of HTML elements such as text, image, lists, other tablets, and so on. The TH tag is the table heading tag which is used to give the heading to each column. There are many attributes to the table tag. A border is one of them. A border size can be defined within the border attribute, and a good border can be given to the table. Call span is another attribute of the table. Call span is used to merge two columns within a single row. If you want to merge two rows, then there is another attribute known as row span which is used. Align, as we saw earlier, is used to align the data of the table. It takes center, right, and left as its values. Background color is another attribute in which we can define the color of the table, the background color of the table. Cell padding is another attribute in which we can mention the space within the each cell, that is between the box and the written text in each box. Cell spacing is another attribute in which we can mention the desired spacing that we want to give between two boxes of a single table. Also, just to mention, there is another tag which is known as div tag, and it is a block level element, that is, it starts from a new line and is often used as a container for other HTML elements. Then up is the form. A form in an HTML document is a very useful thing to access the data from the user. HTML forms are used to collect information from the user, and they are defined by using form tag. Action attribute is used to point to a web page that will load after the point is submitted. The method attribute specifies the HTTP method, that is the GET or the POST method, to be used when the forms are submitted. When you use GET method, the form data will be visible in the page address at the top in the address bar. When the post method is used, and if the form is updating the data or includes sensitive information like passwords, then it will not show all the data which is sensitive. Post offers better security because the submitted data is not visible in the page address. To take input from the user, we also use the input tag. Type attribute has many variations like text, password, radio, button, checkbox, URL, submit, etc. As as the name suggests, the password will make a text box and will accept the password but won't reflect it back on the screen. It will be shown as either asterisks or dots, but the password won't be seen. Whereas in the text value, the text box will be created and we will be able to see the text which is written on the screen. Radio denotes radio button, which are circular buttons, and when there are many radio buttons within the single form, we can only access a single radio button. Not all the buttons can be checked. Whereas the checkbox is a square box, and if there are many checkboxes, then we can select multiple checkboxes. We can tick on the multiple boxes so as to select our values. The submit creates a button and it will submit your given form. These are some of the inputs of the form tag. Colors in an HTML document are denoted by hexadecimal colors. HTML colors are expressed in hexadecimal values, that is from 0 to F. Hexadecimal consists of 16 values: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it continues with A, B, C, D, E, and F, and 0 denotes least and F denotes maximum. Colors can be displayed in combination of red, green, and blue, which is also known as the RGB method. Hex values are written using a hashtag followed by either 3 or 6 hexadecimal characters. All possible red, green, and blue combinations are over 16 million, and so are the possibilities of the colors that we can mention in an HTML document. The background color attribute value is also given by this hexadecimal characters, and it is used to change the background color as well. Font color can also be mentioned inside font tag with color attribute. Here are a few examples of the RGB code and how it is written and what color does it denote. When writing HTML5 document, the first new feature is the doctor declaration. It is shown in the screen. We have to declare this doctor declaration before opening the HTML tag. There are many newly introduced tags in HTML5 like embed, footer, etc. The main changes that we see in HTML5 are in the form. The Web Form 2.0 specifications allows us to create more powerful forms and more compelling user experience. Date picker, color picker have been added. Input fields types now include email, search, URL, etc. Put and delete form methods are also supported. Then header tag is introduced. Header will be defined in HTML4 using a div tag, but in HTML5, header tag has been introduced. The header element is appropriate for use inside the body tag. Then comes the footer tag. Footer tag is also newly introduced. The section located at the very bottom of the web page is referred to as the footer. After the footer, we have the nav tag. The nav tag represents a section of a page that links to the other pages or to certain section within the page. This would be a section with navigation links. It is on the top of the page. After that comes the audio and the video tags. As the name suggests, audio tag is used to put up audio in our document, and the video tag is used to put a video in our document. The audio element specifies a standard for embedding audio in web pages. It creates an audio player inside the browser. There are three attributes: control, autoplay, and loop. Control specifies that audio control should be displayed, that is play, pause button, etc. Autoplay starts playing the audio as soon as it is ready without asking for the visitor's permission. Whereas the loop is used to have the audio replay every time it is finished. Video element has same attributes as that of the audio element. After that, we have the progress bar. The progress element provides the ability to create a progress bar on the web. Its attributes are value, which specifies how much of the task have been completed, and max, which specifies how much work the task requires in total. In form, the input tag is introduced with placeholder and required attributes. We had input tag in HTML as well, but in HTML5 we have other attributes which are introduced, which are placeholder and required attributes. The placeholder gives us a hint of what should be entered in the given text box or a given email box, whereas when we put the required attribute, then that field, that box becomes mandatory to be filled, and without it being filled we cannot submit the form. If we try to submit the form, then it will give us an error. Now we have covered mostly all the basics of the HTML and the HTML5. Thank you for watching.